I don't believe it. Did Disney Star Wars make something good? So the first 3 episodes of Andor have been released on Disney Plus. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, I really thought that the first 3 episodes were gonna be released on Thursday or Friday, and honestly, considering all the delays that this show had gone through beforehand, I wouldn't have been surprised if that was the case. But I woke up this morning and I saw that there was a bunch of notifications saying Andor had dropped. So here I am talking about it. Before I jump into giving you my thoughts on the first 3 episodes of Andor, I'll go ahead and give you guys a quick preface about where I come from when it comes to my knowledge of Star Wars. If you check out my Obi-Wan Kenobi video that I posted a couple months ago, you'll really see that I am both a prequel lover and also original trilogy lover. I think everything that George Lucas has had direct involvement with has been really, really good.
Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
Of course, there's been some stinkers along the way, but the essence of Star Wars to me is everything that George Lucas created. That being said, I feel like pretty much everything that Disney has put out has been a cheap money-grabbing tool that objectifies their actors for money and is less concerned about telling a coherent and improved story and would rather milk the pre-existing stories for any amount of money and revenue they can possibly get out of it. And I certainly had my concerns about Andor when I first heard that it had been released. If I'm being honest, I feel like Rogue One was the best movie that Disney Star Wars has put out so far, but I was really hesitant at the thought that Disney would take one character from that movie, that being Cassian Andor, and making a whole Disney Plus series about him. I mean, we already know how his story ends, and so for me, I was thinking about what more could you possibly tell? So needless to say, I was definitely cautiously optimistic. And to be honest, my optimistic perspective really dropped a lot with the recent projects that Disney's put out with Star Wars. I believe Book of Boba Fett was a disaster, and while I thought that season 2 of The Mandalorian was good, it wasn't as good as the first one in my opinion. I think Obi-Wan Kenobi itself really fumbled the opportunity to be the best live-action Star Wars TV show to date, but that's a whole other story. I'm here to tell you that the first 3 episodes of Andor are actually really good. It's about time that we slow down and we see what the ground level of Star Wars looks like. I know we've gotten little teases to that in the Book of Boba Fett and The Mandalorian, but I feel like this is really the first time where we can genuinely see how the ground level characters of Star Wars interact with each other and the environments. There's no Jedi versus Sith. There's no gigantic space battles. There's no major wars between good and evil. In fact, this show is going to be looking more at the slow undoing of the Empire and the gradual rise of the rebellion. And using Cassian Andor as kind of a conduit and an audience peek into that beginning origin story, I think that finally clicked with me, and I'm excited to see what more they have to tell. I'll be honest, if you are looking for something that's going to be jam-packed with cameos and is going to have constant excitement and drama everywhere you go, this may not be the show for you. But if you're a Star Wars fan like me who wants a very clear and concise story told in a very passionate way, then you're gonna find it with Andor. The time that we spend in the first couple episodes with Andor really helps us see things from his perspective. And honestly, I really appreciate shows that don't treat the audience like we're dumb. In fact, they don't try to explain everything right out the gate. It's gonna take a couple episodes for you to figure out what's going on. And I like that.
I like it a lot.
Honestly, give us more of this. Let us as the audience put together the pieces of what's going on in the show instead of it being told to us. I just am a sucker for when the world of Star Wars is used respectfully. And what I mean by respectfully is when you treat this world as a very lived in and colorful environment, full of different creatures of different species, with a bunch of intergalactic adventures mixed in between. And although we're only 3 episodes in, I really feel like we're teeing up to something really, really special. After shows like Obi-Wan Kenobi, I really had to start tempering my expectations, and I decided not to do reviews of shows until I've been able to go through the entire season so I can fully judge it. But I made a special exception with Andor because this is one of the few shows where I finished the 3rd episode and I was like, I can't wait for more.
This is where the fun begins.
And that's exactly what a TV show should be. But I'm getting ahead of myself. When it comes to the show itself, or at least based on what I've seen so far, I like that they finally decided to take Star Wars in a very dark and mature path. They're not being dark just to be dark. There's no senseless killing or an excessive use of gore or violence. This is all being used to tell a story. It's even a nice callback to Rogue One when we see Cassian Andor at the beginning kill one of his supposed friends in order to prevent the Empire from getting a hold of them. This type of concentrated ruthlessness from Cassian really bodes well for his character as we go through this very mature storyline. As I mentioned before, I really appreciate that they took the first 2 episodes to take a little bit of time to work through what's going on in the story and to start setting up the chess pieces to potentially be moved later on. And then you finish it out with episode 3, which is a lot more jam-packed, where we got to meet, I forgot his name in the show, but I know he's played by the guy who also plays Dr. Eric Selvig from all the Thor movies. I feel like his character and Mon Mothma's character are going to be the beginning of this rebellion, where they start pulling at the strings and start collecting as many sympathizers as they can in opposition to the Empire. I just love it, man. It's about time we had a political spy thriller in Star Wars, and it really seems like we're getting it. I apologize if it seems my thoughts are all over the place. I mean, I literally just finished watching episode 3 like 5 minutes ago. Also, I don't have a watch. That was just for dramatic timing.
Man, you corny!
But yeah, those are my thoughts on the first 3 episodes of Andor. I'm really hoping that they continue this hot streak of having really good stories to tell. And yes, I know the episodes could technically decrease in quality, just like how all of the other Disney Star Wars TV shows have gone. But we're not gonna go there. Call me a disillusional Star Wars fan, but at the end of the day, I just want good Star Wars projects. But I'm gonna speak it into existence that Andor is going to be what we've been waiting for. Hopefully I'm proved right. And either way, you guys are gonna get a full review out of me, maybe either mid-season or at the end of the season. It's really gonna come down to how much goes on in the next couple weeks. But what did you guys think? Sound off in the comments below. Did you think that the first 3 episodes of Andor is a nice change of pace for Star Wars? Let me know if you enjoyed it, or if you just thought it was meh. I'm really looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.